Hello and what is up everyone, it is Hachi from the Art of Dota, and this video is going to be about Vengeful Spirit and why you should be playing her right now if you're trying to raise your badges, trying to get that MMR, trying to get those stars. She is one of the highest win rate heroes in pubs right now, in the 2K, 3K, 4K, and not 5K and above, but 2K, 3K, and 4K bracket. She is the highest win rate hero at around 57% win rate. I forgot to mention less than 2K as well. The only bracket where she doesn't have a 57% win rate or somewhere around that is 5K and above. That's a bracket that I play in, but even in that bracket she has around a 55%, which is still very good. Now, why is Venge so good right now? She did receive a couple of nerfs in the recent patches, 7.07b and 7.07c. And that was because I think Ice Frog knew that she felt a little bit too strong. And the reason why she is strong is because of this ability right here, Vengeance Aura. This synergizes with so many different heroes in the game, right? Any right click can carry, and of course if you are a 2K player and you're in a game where literally everyone is picking cores, because that's what people do in 2K bracket and even 3K, she's the best support to play just because you literally don't have to do anything. As long as you're just in the fight, you are giving your carries 30% damage bonus, and it has a pretty good radius. I believe the radius was buffed. So I think it was as well when your teammates die. So when your 2K teammates feed, when they die, it summons an illusion of them that does 100% damage. So it does the same damage they would have done if they were still alive, and it lasts for 6 seconds. And of course it only attacks the target that killed them, but still, so whoever your teammates are feeding to, it's going to create an illusion of them, and that illusion will attack that person for 6 seconds. It was 7 seconds, but it was nerfed to 6 because it was a little bit ridiculous. So, for example, in this game right here, let's say this Luna ends up dying next to the Vengeful Spirit. Whoever killed the Luna will have a Luna illusion that does 100% of Luna's damage, attacking them for 6 whole seconds. And they can't stun the illusion, they can't avoid the illusion will follow them to the ends of the earth. It's basically a Terrorblade reflection. Now, in addition, Venge is really strong in the laning stage if you can combine it with maybe something like a Drow Ranger, or in this game Luna, because of their stacking damage auras. So with Drow Aura or with Luna Aura combined with Vengeance Aura, you're going to be hitting pretty hard, which means that you're going to be able to send out that harass and zone out whatever is the offlaner. And even if you do not completely zone them out, at least you're going to be able to do a fair bit of harass and force them to use a lot of regen, and at least allow your carry to get some farm. In addition, Vengeful Spirit is very good at Roshing. And now Rosh is a lot more, say, the best way to put it is it's a lot more valuable to go Rosh early on because of how strong the third Rosh is with Refresher Shard. Not only the cheese, but also Refresher Shard. So you want to be able to take Rosh early on so you can get to that third Rosh faster, especially if you're in a winning game, because that Refresher Shard most of the time will allow you to just close out the game. So, for example, in this game, you can give the Refresher Shard to Shadow Shaman or even the Luna for her double ultimate, so they can just close the game out. And of course, not only does the Wave of Terror synergize with taking Rosh quickly, the Vengeance Aura does as well. Of course, it's giving everyone who is in the Rosh pit more damage. As well, Nether Swap is a great ability that will save your teammates. So when your teammates are out of position, you're going to be able to swap them out. You could also swap enemies in 4 kills, which is really good, especially when going high ground. If your team's really far ahead, a real easy way to end the game is for you to just swap someone out of position. It's basically like a pudge hook, but it's free. It does put you in a dangerous position, but usually you can't afford to trade your life for, you know, an important core on the enemy team, and it will allow your team just to end the game. As well, her talents were reworked a little bit, but the main thing here is her level 10 talent and her level 15 talent. It used to be something like damage or attack speed or something like that, but now she has -1 wave of terror armor, so it's not much, but it does add up. I'm not so sure you would go this unless there's absolutely no magic damage on the enemy team, because 15% magic resistance is pretty nice. But the level 15 talent here is -6-second cooldown on Wave of Terror. Now, what is the current cooldown on Wave of Terror? It's 10 seconds. Now, so it's 6 seconds off of 10 seconds, more than half. So you're going to be able to spam that Wave of Terror in fights. And in addition, it lasts for 8 seconds. So you're going to be able to, you know, stack it up or hit it onto multiple targets. Let's say you don't get everyone on your first Wave of Terror, you can hit you know, the rest of the team, so you're able to apply that negative armor to as many people as possible. And this is a very good talent for support Venge, because, you know, 15 agi, that's nice and all, that's, you know, about 3 armor and 15 damage, but that doesn't really make up for just having always have Wave of Terror off cooldown. It's really strong. The fact that not only does it also do minus armor, but also gives vision, you're gonna be able to just spam that everywhere to provide vision in a fight, you know, and apply that debuff. Now, the standard build for Venge, of course, as a support, is you're still gonna want to max your stun, so it ramps up the damage as well as the stun duration. Otherwise, the stun duration feels a little bit underwhelming at only 1.2 at level 1. But after that, you do have a choice. Usually you want to just level up your Wave of Terror afterwards, because Vengeance Aura doesn't really do that great early on. Normally you're going to max the Vengeance Aura last if you're a support, because I mean, later on you're going to get more value of it pretty much. Unless there's a bunch of right clickers on your team, Vengeance Aura doesn't end up doing that much, just because it's, you know, scales better when your carries have more farm, because it is percentage based, right? It's not a flat number, so it's 30% of their damage. So until Luna gets more farm, 30% won't be that much. So you're okay with leaving it at level 1. It is okay to leave it at level 1 for quite a while. And of course, you will want to skill your ultimate whenever you can. But how do you want to play Vengeful Spirit in a pub successfully as a support? I mean, you can go one of two ways. You can go hard support and, you know, decide that you're gonna buy all the wards and, you know, do all the 5 position supporting things, but she can be played in a variety of positions, and that's what makes her such a strong hero right now, because not only she can play as a support, but you can also take Venge carry. So for some reason, if your carry tilts and, you know, starts AFK jungling or doing something dumb, you can actually just take over the carry position and start farming carry items. You know, go for treads, get a Mask of Madness, go for a Shadow Blade, go for a carry build, even if you started as a support. You know, Venge is a very good just first pick hero, because you can send her in multiple positions. You know, she could even go mid or off lane potentially, of course, as being able to play support and carry as well. But in addition, she's very good at transitioning from a support into a core position, because even though I mentioned her talents here, you know, they're not that based on being a core anymore. She can still itemize to be a core, you know, by buying treads, phase boots, or something like Mask of Madness, just help you farm a little bit faster. And if you end up getting a bunch of kills in fights and your carries are not holding up their end of the stick and not carrying the game, you can really just start buying carry items and try to carry the game yourself. And keep in mind that even if you don't get that farmed and your carries are kind of farmed, they're not the most farmed, so they're kind of squishy. They went for like glass cannon builds like people tend to do in pubs. When they die in a team fight and you're alive, they're going to summon those illusions, as I mentioned, because Vengeance Aura. So as long as you actually manage to stay alive in the fight and you don't end up dying too soon, even if all of your cores die first, they will just summon ghosts to kill their attacker, get revenge on their killer. I mean, and that can turn the fight for sure, especially in lower MMR pubs. And I think that's why she has such a high win rate, because a lot of times, you know, in lower MMR pubs, everyone's getting farmed because there's just crazy fights happening everywhere, and then later on in the game, there's just going to be fights where Venge is just standing there, her teammates die first, but then, you know, they do some damage before dying, and then suddenly there's just ghosts everywhere killing everybody. I can definitely see that happening in like 2K and 3K games, as I've played on my friend's account and some Smurfs as well, where I realize everyone gets farmed in 3K games just because the game doesn't end, and having Vengeance Aura is just insane because of what it does. You know, it just allows you to continue the fight technically even after you're already dead, and with just a bunch of right-clicking heroes is really strong. Actually, it's super annoying. Like if you were like the fight was like close at all, it's gonna pretty much make it so you both double wipe, which is just gonna stall the game, and this of course will favor some heroes like Medusa, right? I think Medusa is a very good combination with Venge, and you know, if you can convince your team to pick Medusa and you pick Venge, it could be really good. Same thing with heroes like Luna, who is super popular in pubs right now, as well as Morphling. But I think just any right-clicking hero as well just synergizes really well with Venge because of her Vengeance Aura and how it works now. We'll talk about her level 20 talent as well as her level 25 talent. At level 20, she gets plus 15% on the Vengeance Aura damage, so that goes up to 45%, or she can have the cooldown on her magic missile, which is pretty nice as well. You will have to have some form of mana regen to help sustain that. But at level 25, of course, she does have Magic Missile, Pierce's Spell Immunity, which can be really clutch against heroes like Lifestealer and Jug, or you can just increase the damage on your Magic Missile. But usually she's not a hero to get to level 25, especially when played in a supporting position, because it is a little bit hard to find levels on her unless you have a Midas or something like that. But as you see here, this is actually a Purge replay, but he goes for more supporting build in this game here, and you can go for the supporting build. But I mentioned before, you also can transition into a more core-oriented build, even as a support. You know, go for something like a Helm of the Dawn, maybe, and get that phase boots or treads. Or as well, you can truly go core and, you know, just go straight like phase Mask Madness or something like that. But really depends on the game, depends on the skill bracket as well. You really can't get away with that in higher MMRs. In some games you can, but other games you'll definitely be punished if your support's just building core items. But I definitely think the reason why she does have such a high win rate in lower MMRs is just because, I mean, she's such an open-ended hero. Even as a quote-unquote support, she can dish out real right-click damage depending on the items you build. And I can see definitely people just abusing that in lower MMR pubs, like you know, 2K, 3K bracket, and just winning games like that. My alarm is turning on. Sorry about that. Hold on. Alright, that problem solved, but we're about to get to the end of the video anyway here. But that is pretty much all you need to know about Vengeful Spirit, and this video is pretty much meant to convince you guys to pick up the hero and try it out in your pubs. I mean, she's pretty easy to play. You know, she has like 3 buttons, just a straight on point target stun, nothing complicated there. You know, her Wave of Terror moves pretty quickly, even though it's technically a skill shot. It's not that hard to hit, and of course swap is just single target, and usually it's pretty obvious when you're going to want to swap a teammate that's in danger or when you can swap an enemy in to kill them. So definitely try out Vengeful Spirit. The win rate doesn't lie. I do feel like she's quite strong, especially in pubs. She's not being picked that much up in the pro scene, but just because of the chaotic nature of pubs, the fact that she can take Roshan so quickly with the Vengeance Aura, as well as the Wave of Terror. If she goes for the Medallion, of course, that's going to speed that up as well, in addition to just how her Vengeance Aura works now with summoning the Ghost. in a more chaotic pub environment where everyone's getting farmed and you have a bunch of right-clicking heroes on your team. It's super valuable. Not in addition to that, like, it also just buffs up their damage. So hope you guys try out Vengeful Spear. Hope this video helped you out in terms of learning about the hero and how you want to play her. I'll probably do a full-on Venge commentary or Venge guide later on. And I'm actually making a guide on Pugna for Vengeful Spear, and that, I don't know when that's coming out, but I'm working on that as probably my next guide, I think. So again, I am making guides on Pugna now, so you can check me out at pugna.com. You can search up my guides, just search up Hot Sheet. But that's going to be it for this video. Leave a like if this video helped you out, and make sure you subscribe as well, because I am trying to upload as often as possible. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.